In the midst of every difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein. In December 1972, Apollo 17 was launched into space, carrying astronaut Harrison Schmitt, a Sagittarius, aboard the spacecraft. When he stood on the moon and gazed back at Earth, he described the planet as a blue marble. For a Sagittarius, that moment wasn't just poetic. It was a perfect symbol of the unyielding thirst for discovery, wide-ranging vision, and a soul that refuses to be confined. If you're a Sagittarius, you may be feeling overwhelmed lately. Waves of hope, disappointment, old wounds, and sudden endings crashing all at once. But wait, what if this isn't chaos, but alignment? The fire within you hasn't gone out, it's being fueled. Because just when it feels like everything is falling apart, the universe is actually reshaping you into a greater version of yourself. This moment is sacred. The turbulence is necessary. Transformation is inevitable. Sagittarius isn't afraid of getting lost, but when every path seems to vanish, doubt can creep in. Yet this isn't rejection, it's redirection. This is the time to toss out the old maps and trust your inner compass. This is your metamorphosis. If you found this video intriguing, don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey. Dear Sagittarius, have you ever felt like a free wind rushing across endless horizons? You give your all, chasing distant dreams, only to find that just when you think you've reached the peak, a sudden whirlwind sends you in a completely new direction. You've poured your energy into climbing mountains that seemed impossible, only to stumble on a small stone in your path, throwing everything off balance. You once held on to hope, feeling the warmth of your dreams glowing in your hands. But then it quietly slipped away, like a falling star vanishing into the endless night sky, leaving you in a void. You gave your soul to a journey, believing it was your destined path, only to realize that the sky has redrawn your map, steering you toward unexpected turns. Why is everything unraveling right now? Perhaps you're wondering, is the universe playing tricks on me, testing me? But the truth is far more profound. The universe isn't working against you, it's walking beside you in ways you haven't yet seen. Sagittarius is not suffering. Sagittarius is being forged. These painful stumbles are not your final destination. They are glowing embers slowly gathering heat, waiting to erupt into a magnificent flame. These unexpected detours are not walls blocking your way. They are gates, wide open, leading you to a horizon more vast than you ever imagined. Right now is the time to recognize your true strength. Every failure, every twist in the road is a vital piece of the grand mosaic the universe is crafting just for you. You're not just a traveler, you are a warrior, a flame that never dies. Are you ready to decode the universe's whisper? Your journey doesn't end here, it's only just beginning. The fire inside you is waiting to ignite, lighting up the entire night sky. Keep moving, because Sagittarius was never meant to stand still. That fire is you. Sagittarius is the symbol of far-reaching horizons, where the hunger for knowledge can only be quenched by brave souls willing to step into uncharted territory. But here's a truth few talk about. Doors don't always open the moment you knock. Everything entering your life now is not random, it is part of a deeper rhythm. Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, holds the energy of expansion and growth, but also forges you in the fire of trials. When Jupiter goes into retrograde, many mistake it as a sign that opportunities have closed. But it's not a period of endings. It's an invitation to turn inward. It softly asks a profound question. Are you truly ready to step through this threshold? Within this slowdown, the universe is offering you precious time to prepare. Psychological science has shown something remarkable. We can only embrace massive opportunities when our minds are sharpened and ready. Your brain doesn't reject success, it simply needs enough evidence, enough internal certainty to believe you truly deserve that position. So if doors haven't opened earlier, it's not rejection. It's because your soul doesn't need easy victories. What you need is a glory forged from sweat, resilience, and courage. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, is not holding you back. Instead, it is meticulously carving the path ahead, removing detours no longer aligned with your mission. What has passed, what no longer belongs to you, is fading, not as punishment, but to make space for what is truly destined. Everything arriving now is no accident. It is the sign that you are nearing the most complete version of yourself. One thought: failure isn't a dead end. It's a door opening wide. Have you ever seen a baby bird learn to fly? At first it flutters, clumsy and shaky, unable to lift off, often falling again and again. But then something magical happens. When fear dissolves, when it trusts its own wings, it soars into the vast sky. You haven't failed. You're just learning how to fly. What you see as mistakes, as roadblocks, are actually shaping you, helping you find your truest flow. Just like a river doesn't travel in a straight line from source to sea, you too need bends and challenges. They're carving out your strongest current. What feels like being lost is really leading you to a bigger path. What feels like loss is really freeing you from what no longer fits. What feels like failure is actually the universe aligning you with your true place. Think of the most successful people you admire. They weren't untouched by failure. They are the ones who refused to give up in the face of it. If Oprah Winfrey had quit after being fired for being unfit for TV, or if J.K. Rowling had crumbled after 12 rejections of the Harry Potter manuscript, they would never have become icons. Remember, an archer cannot strike the target without first pulling the bowstring tight. If you feel pulled back, it's only because the universe is preparing to launch you forward, faster, farther, and more powerfully than ever before. 2. What you lost wasn't a loss. It was liberation. Remember, Jupiter, the planet that guides Sagittarius, never takes anything away without the intention of giving you something better in return, often double in value. But to do that, the universe needs space, an open void large enough to place new gifts into your life. Imagine you're clenching a small stone in your hand. You grip it tightly, afraid to lose it. But you don't realize that right in front of you, the universe is waiting to place a diamond in your palm. Only when you dare to release the old stone can your hand be free to receive something far more worthy. Loss is not lack, it's liberation. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means opening a new door to welcome what truly belongs to you. Think of Steve Jobs, who was fired from the very company he founded. When he was forced out of Apple, it could have broken him. He might have believed it was the greatest loss of his life. But instead of letting it defeat him, he created Next and Pixar, two companies that ultimately became the catalysts for his return to Apple, where he went on to build the iPhone, the iPod, and turned Apple into the most valuable brand in the world. If Steve Jobs hadn't lost Apple, he wouldn't have had the space to reinvent himself. So if a door has closed for you, don't despair. If someone has left your life, don't cling. The universe never takes anything from you unless it knows you're ready for something greater. Every loss is simply a clearing to make room for something more aligned, more worthy, and meant for you. Trust that. Still watching this video? Don't forget to share it so more Sagittarians around the world can receive this message. 3. You're not waiting for an opportunity, you're being tested. Have you ever wondered why things still haven't arrived even though you've worked so hard? You've put in the effort, remained patient, but luck still seems delayed? That's because you're not being ignored. You're being tested to see if you're truly ready to receive it. Neuroscience shows that the human brain only truly evolves when it's placed in uncomfortable situations. Change only happens when you're pushed to your limits, where you're forced to adapt, to expand. So, the challenges you're facing now aren't random obstacles. They're measuring tools, testing whether you're prepared to rise to the next level. Look back at the chaotic period the world recently endured. the COVID-19 pandemic. It wasn't just a crisis. It was the greatest test humanity has faced in modern times. Businesses that refused to adapt vanished, but those brave enough to change grew stronger than ever. People who were mentally fragile were swept away in the storm, but those who cultivated inner strength emerged from the pandemic as more powerful versions of themselves. If you feel like you're under pressure right now, know that this isn't punishment, it's preparation. As Thomas Edison once said, many people give up just when they're about to succeed. But the world doesn't reward those who quit. It only honors those who endure long enough to prove they're worthy. So if you're going through a difficult phase, don't assume the universe has turned its back on you. On the contrary, it's placing you in your final test, the one right before you ascend to the next level. If you think successful people are just lucky, think again. They don't sit around waiting for fortune to knock. They act as if victory already belongs to them, even when the world doubts them. You may be struggling, you may feel inadequate or unready, but instead of asking, "When will luck find me?" ask yourself, "What can I do right now to prove I'm worthy of what I want?" If I were already successful, how would I act? Then why not start acting that way today? Sagittarius, you're not just a dreamer, you are a dream maker. You don't just chase stars, you become one. You're not lost, you're being shaped to shine. There are moments when you feel like you're so close to your goal, and then suddenly everything falls apart. The doors you thought were open slam shut, leaving you with one painful question. What did I do wrong? Is the universe turning its back on me? No, the universe isn't turning away. It's carving a path meant only for you. What no longer fits your journey is falling away, not because you're unworthy, but because you've outgrown it. You're not lost, you're evolving. Just like an arrow must be drawn back before it can soar forward, you're in a phase of gathering strength, even if you can't see it yet. These challenges aren't meant to stop you. They're testing whether you're ready for your next elevation. What leaves your life isn't a loss, it's a clearing, making space for something greater. Jupiter, your ruling planet, never takes without preparing an even bigger gift, but to receive it, you must be brave enough to release what no longer belongs to you. So, don't cling to what's ending. Don't doubt yourself just because the door in front of you closed. You're not stuck. You're being propelled forward. Now is not the time to hesitate. This is your moment to rise, to break through all limits and claim your place. Destiny is calling. Are you ready to answer? If you feel these words have touched your heart, smash that like button right now. It's more than a click. It's a message to the universe that you're ready to receive what's meant for you. Subscribe today so you won't miss any of these powerful astrological insights designed to unlock your destiny. And remember, dear Sagittarius, you weren't born to stand still, you were born to blaze, to move, to conquer.